Well, Chris, a 0-0 draw, but that doesn't even start it, does it? A red card after 9 minutes. And
yes.
Didn't really impact you guys, did it? It galvanised them.
Yeah, it did. I mean, they played with 10 men on Saturday and beat Gateshead, so we knew that they'd be dogged, and I've played in those games myself as a player, and it's sometimes difficult to break a really tight formation down. We just didn't have that perhaps creativity to do that today. I showed my frustration to the players after the final whistle, but again, I said that in the main they've done things we've asked them to do in the facts of physicality and running and pressing and closing, but just not quite enough creativity in that final third.
And you brought Charlie Wakefield on at half-time. That changed the shape. Were you disappointed at the lack of changes? He looked like to make an impact early on, but faded.
He did, and yeah, we've just had a conversation about that in the changing room. I think Charlie's had a really good start to the season and then been frustrated with injury. It is sometimes difficult to make a mark against, as I say, a really organised, tight 2 banks of 4. But we didn't mix the game up enough by drifting in and asking the fullback a question, and that's the disappointment, that we didn't have that guile to ask him a question with 2v1s when that's the whole reason we changed the change.
Was he a bit frustrated that he wasn't fed the ball more, because he had a bit of space on that right hand side?
Yeah, maybe. And we, the messages at half time were to obviously switch play quickly, hope that someone turns off, which inevitably they do when they're tired, and then you're either in on goal or you're able to cross the ball. It didn't materialise, and we're disappointed, definitely. There's a lot of players that in the changing room that have still put a real shift in, there's no doubt about it. And you still play against a team that have dangers, even with 10 men, there's no doubt in my mind about that. You've got one of the hot strikers in the league at the minute, form-wise, very quick, and we had to be on our toes defensively, even for that long, 11 against 10.
And the next moment we have to talk about, of course, is that penalty. I think everyone thought that Alex Fisher might step up and take it, but did Malachi want to take it because he won it? And obviously it was a poor penalty.
Yeah, it was. I always have in my mind that if you're the most confident person on that pitch to take a penalty and you believe you're going to score, you take it. But what I've said in the changing room will remain in the changing room after the game. But for Mal, he scored 2 fantastic goals already. He won't stop running. He's brave as a lion, and he didn't mean to miss it.
And he certainly still made an impact, didn't he, while he was on the pitch? He had a few openings. He looked like he just wanted to get his confidence back. You must have been pleased with the reaction.
Oh, definitely. In the end, I had to change it because he'd run his socks off again, and he's done that as a young player. So I've got no problem with him missing chances and missing penalties. He'll be the most disappointed out of anybody, so he doesn't need reminding of that. And if we do score, we win the game. But it's a point that we reluctantly accept, and there's been a few words in the changing room from the experienced lads because they want more, and I'm pleased to see that. There's been a bit of anger in there. No problem, that means they care.
And in terms of having that man advantage, are you disappointed you didn't create more chances? It felt like set pieces were where you were going to score.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at trying to create, the way we tried to do it, because they sat back in very deep, we probably didn't have that creativity to break them down. We accept that, but the whole point of doing that is to try and get set pieces and people turn off and trying to stop crosses. We've got some of the most aggressive headers on the pitch today in our team, and we had enough corners to score, and that's frustrating as well. But as I say, I'm not going to complain about the lads' work rate and desire to play for the supporters, who were again magnificent. Just so disappointed we couldn't send them home with 3 points. That's a shame, but thank you very much. Mentioned from all of the players how good they were.
And talking about creativity, did you feel like you were missing Lawson Diath in the middle of the park? Do you know when you might have him back?
I'm not sure with Lawson how long it's going to be. He he's a very good footballer, and he does look for those forward passes. And yeah, you're always going to miss a player like that in your team or in your squad. So the sooner he gets back into the squad and with the players, the better. At the moment, I don't know how long it's going to be. Hopefully, short amount of time.
Lastly, you all seemed quite dejected. You were having a chat in a huddle here on the pitch. How do you pick them up ready of a big home game next weekend?
You pick them up by saying that you got a point away, you got 3 at home, you got another point away, and that's how you pick them up. Because if we go on that trajectory, on that points total, we'll be okay. We're just disappointed that we just didn't quite have that killer instinct or guile to break a very organised team down.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.